Okay, so now we're ready to begin object-oriented programming. We've actually been doing object-oriented programming from day one in this class, whether we realize it or not. But now we're at the point where we can start creating our own custom objects as opposed to using those that are already provided by Python and the various libraries. So, why would you do this? You would do this to create more sophisticated data types. It's like you're doing your very own brand new data types to represent some kind of business object or thing that you care to work with or track in your program. For example, in the chapter in the book, they do a product class to create these product objects. In this case, I have a pizza class, which we'll talk about, to represent a pizza. Let's say I've been hired to write a program for a restaurant or a cafe, and I want to represent a pizza. And not just a string to represent the name of the pizza or a float for the price of the pizza, but like anything I care about, the pizza. For example, the name, the description, the diameter. Pizzas are often sold in terms of diameter and inches. The number of slices in that pizza, and then the price of the pizza. So it's like a very sophisticated object, a sophisticated collection of data, pieces of data that all, together represent this thing that we care about. So I'm not crazy about the beginning of the chapter in the book, but I am going to go ahead and do a program like that. There are certain things that they're doing that I don't want you to do. There are shortcuts that they're taking, which I don't want you to take when you're doing this for homework. Because if you're taking the shortcuts, then how are you going to know about that thing that you're skipping? Okay, so there are certain things that I want you to be coding by hand, which you're not going to see in this program. But of course, in later programs, later videos, we'll touch on those things. So this is just kind of a general discussion of, typing a class, adding the functionality, and then creating objects based on that class. So a class is just a plan for the object. Just like if I was going to start a car company, and I'm not going to just start, rolling cars off at the assembly line. First, I'm going to come up with a plan, a very specific engineering plan for that car. There's no car yet, but all the specs are laid out in a diagram or series of diagrams. So that's where we're at when we type a class. We're saying, okay, I don't have anything yet. I didn't reserve any memory yet. I don't have any objects, but this is what it's going to look like in memory once it actually exists. So that's the class. This class is it's obviously in Python indentation matters. So the class is from there to there. Okay. Not a ton of code. They'll get longer in later videos. So let me talk about this first at the very top. This is, you'll probably just see this once in this video and then possibly never again in this class, because this is related to one of those techniques I don't want you to do. But this is related to a data class decorator that's called in Python. And the data class decorator will auto-generate something that is called a constructor. Now, some of you know what this is, some of you don't. That's fine. We are going to talk about this in depth later. But this is one of those shortcuts that, if you're auto-generating a constructor, then you're not coding a constructor by hand and you don't know what it is and you're not going to understand it. So this is something I don't want you to do. But we're just doing it here, and it will simplify this discussion in this video if we don't have to talk about the constructor just yet, but that's coming. And then, so we're going to come up with a nice descriptive name for our class, which is, the name that you would give the object. It's conventional to capitalize user-defined or programmer-defined classes. So I have pizza with a capital P here. And then I'm just going to add the attributes of the pizza that I care about for this program. The name of the pizza, a more detailed description, maybe including the toppings and the type of crust and all that. The diameter in inches. That I probably could have done an integer on that, but I went with a float. So I'm just adding attributes. And it's up to me. It's my class. It's my pizza. I can do what I want. So adding attributes and data types. So, and then in addition to my attributes, I might also want to add some functionality to this class. So it's all like this, nice little contained package of attributes, which are just, really variables, and then functionality. If I need this pizza object to perform some kind of operation on itself, for example, calculating the number of slices. So based on the diameter, I can get the radius by dividing the diameter by 2, and then calculate the number of slices by getting the full area. Once I have the radius, I can do the full area of the pizza, which is what I'm doing in here, which is pi times the radius squared. Okay, and then I can divide the area by 14.6. That's just some number I made up. Let's say one triangular slice is 14.6 square inches. So the full area of the full pizza divided by 14.6 will get me the number of slices for that one pizza. And then I used math.floor to round it down because my cafe or restaurant is not going to be selling fractional slices. So I'll just round it down to the nearest integer. Okay, so there I can calculate the number of slices for our num slices attribute. And here's another one. I can get the price here, the price attribute is for the price of the whole pizza, but apparently we're selling slices as well. So, or selling pizza by the slice. So I can even get the price of a single slice, which is the full price of the full pizza divided by the number of slices. Okay, so there's my class, my pizza class. Okay, now let's go into the main function here. And I'm going to create a couple of pizza objects based on my pizza class. Now, this is where the car in my car company is rolling off the assembly line. I finally have an actual object, an actual pizza in this case. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a pizza object. I'll call this first one P1, okay? It's based on my pizza class. And then this is where, a lot of this is hidden right now because we auto-generated the constructor, but this will make more sense in later videos. But I'm passing these values, these data values, to the behind-the-scenes constructor that we did not code. And then these will be used to create the actual pizza with my specifications. I'm going to call this Vegan Supreme. The description is it's got all these veggies and cashew cheese and all that. And then it's a 12-inch diameter pizza, according to this. And I'm having trouble scrolling. Oh, there we go. I put in 0 for the number of slices. I'm going to, that's going to be calculated up in the class. I put starting it at 0 for the number of slices, and then $19.95 is the price of the full pizza there. Let's go back up to the number of slices here. So, yeah, it's the number of slices. Well, hang on, where did I do that? Oh, okay, no, you know what? I'm doing it down here in the main function. Let's continue. So, I've hit the ground running with this pizza that has all this nice, meaningful data in it, all the descriptors that I specified. And now we're ready to just maybe print out the pizza facts, okay? So I can use the dot operator. So this is the object name here. I'm using the dot operator to reach into that object piece by piece and get the attributes, the individual attributes, these guys, the pizza name, the description, the diameter, and so on. So I have the pizza name, the description, doing the diameter. I've got some F strings going on here. If I want it here, I'm going to show you the output here. Okay, so like 12 inches for the diameter. If you want that quote for the inches, I had to escape it with this escape. Otherwise it messes up your F string or the green string here. So you have to escape that, but you can do that. So I've got the diameter, I've got the price, and then I'm putting in a call to this calc num slices method that I coded, this one. Okay. And I'll explain this self thing in the next video, but I'm just calling that calc num slices so that the number of slices can be calculated, okay? And from there I can get the slice price, the price per slice as well. So that's the, put in a call to that to get the number of slices. I'll print the number of slices, and then finally the price per slice, okay, which is, again, I'm putting in a call to that second method that I added, this one. This one actually returns the price per slice, okay. Killing two birds with one stone in this statement. I'm calculating the price per slice and then returning it to the calling method, or the calling function, in this case main. So there's that. So yeah, that's really it. We'll go into the different aspects of this in later videos. This is a lot for just one video, but I could do it. Now, once I have, okay, just getting back to my car analogy, once you have those design specifications, once you have those engineering plans for the car, you can make hundreds or thousands of cars based off of that one plan. Okay, same thing here. Once I have my pizza class, I can make as many pizzas as I need to based on that class. So I made the Veggie Supreme or Vegan Supreme. And I can do another one, the Hawaiian barbecue. So I've got another pizza object, another car rolling off the assembly line. Again, it's based on the pizza class. This one's Hawaiian barbecue. It's got chicken, it's got pineapple, all that. And, again, just putting the specs in. These are headed for the constructor that we're going to talk about later. And then once that's in place, I can print the various attributes, I can calculate the number of slices, I can calculate the price per slice and all that. So we've got two pizza objects here, as we see by our output. And yeah, so let's dig into this a little more in the next video.